The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another gorgeous day at the headquarters of Technical Trading and Investing. This is Dave White from my home bunker, transmitting to you pearls of wisdom every day between 2 and 3 Eastern Time live, and of course archived 24/7 on TFNN.com, the headquarters for Technical Trading and Investing. And we have a interesting day starting out here today. Of course, a little bit of divergence out here, a little bit all over the place. When we look at it, the S&P now pretty much flat, 1871.92, so pretty much what we did yesterday. Seeing some pockets of weakness. Is that a word? Weaknesses. And we will be talking about a lot of that today. But interesting that we got back up there one more time, this time with more volume. We've got 2.5 billion shares. And, of course, today is options expiration day, Monday and Tuesday rollover days. So we probably have a couple of days that don't mean a whole lot. But interesting moves nonetheless when we look at the marketplace. And we'll talk about that and more. And take your calls or emails at path@tfnn.com, or questions in the den. But certainly we have a market that is hanging up here at these highs, but seeing weakness. Probably the thing that most people in the den are looking at today, or at least one of the things in the den that people are talking a great deal about today, is the IBB. And this thing is taking a beating like a redheaded stepchild after being up, over 260, down below 250, down as low as 246.80, but certainly putting a drag on the NASDAQ. And we'll get into why probably later in the show if we have time. But I'm sure if you've got the IBB, you already know it already. And it is going to be somewhat interesting as we go through the rest of the day. So what do we have? Gold's up $5.60. We've got platinum up $4.63. We've got silver off 14 cents. And just when we get into the whole news about what's going on here in the world, as I log into a few things going on here, it is somewhat interesting as to what's going to happen Monday and Tuesday. I still think maybe we are looking for a move where we gap up and finally break this level. Early on, I started listening to TFNN myself probably, was 1998? I think that's probably a good time frame, 1998. At that time, there was a trader on that did several seminars. I would almost call him an investor because his time frames weren't anywhere as short as anybody I've ever met, at least around TFNN. Certainly there's people outside that have longer time frames, not quite Buffett Ice Age kind of Paleolithic era kind of things, but certainly 2-3 years a lot of times on some of his trades. And his name was Tim Ord. But one thing he did bring up early on, and I did a lot of research on it, is that when you get repeated tests of a top, even with light volume, there's a good chance that you break out to higher highs, at least intermittently. And you need some kind of huge move off that top to reduce the risk. So I'm still thinking that we've got maybe. We're coming off the S&Ps here a little bit. I think maybe we've got one more push to the upside before all these energy is out, but kind of hard to tell right now. But anyway, that's what I'm hoping for. Hope I didn't give up just at the time the market was finally ready to break. But it's been giving signals for a month now, and I can always short tomorrow, or actually Monday. But right now, so much of this is probably revolving around expiration that I wouldn't probably say a lot. We've got some of these stocks that are burrowing into their max pain level, some of them way off, and I suspect that we're probably going to get some catch up in the next month. If you didn't listen to the show yesterday, what we did have was a time where I thought maybe the best thing to do was to go to cash and sit and see what was going to happen over the next few days into expiration and, of course, Monday and Tuesday for options rollover. So we've got a lot of different stuff going on in this marketplace, but we'll look at it. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? Visa and MasterCard today, very interesting. All these financials have been rather weak. And, of course, we had one big day on the XLF that everybody was saying that it was over, but probably that we're in ABC downs on these. Visa and MasterCard's got some bad news. It looks like some of the rulings that will eventually come to pass are going to put a limit on exactly how much they can charge per transaction. This has been around for a while. It's been ignored because, of course, they appealed it, but it looks like some of the rulings that will go into the ruling on that are going against them, and we saw major reversals in MasterCard and in Visa today. And when we look at the XLF, hang on a second if I can get it. There we go. Let's look at MasterCard for just a second. But certainly volume has increased over the last couple of days. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648, post a message in the den, or email me at path@tfnn.com, and I'll try to take a look at your stock. And, of course, it is a Friday out here. On Fridays, I normally sit in on the Tom O'Brien show in the 4 o'clock hour. I was just running late, so I'm going to do my show from the bunker 10 stories below downtown Tampa in an abandoned missile silo, and run up all those 10 stairs, get in my car, and run over to the studio for the 4 o'clock hour. So I'll see you then, live with Tom O'Brien. And, of course, we've got lots of stuff happening in technology. This week had a big week in the Tech Insider newsletter for news, and a lot of things setting up. Okay, got a question. Look at okay, got a look at during the break. Anyway, these MasterCard Visa things are probably going to be interesting. What was the financial? Not BK. Okay, I just said it earlier. Not BA. Well, let's look at BAC. Wanted to see how it did because it actually broke yesterday with lighter volume of the previous highs that we had out here. Most of these financials had been weak, had already rolled over once, had come back up here again. Not a lot of volume. 167 million shares yesterday in Bank of America going against 330 million shares. A little bit of reversal back today. You still need to close back below $17.42 to get a confirmed sell signal in it. So we'll take a look at that. IBB is what I wanted to talk about a little bit more. I'm probably going to hopefully get a chance to look at this during the break and catch up on some snooze about the market. But certainly everything you're looking for, massive volume. This thing did break out, and what you wanted to see was 1 million shares and a sign of strength. As the IBB broke this 254 level from January 22nd. You had 1 million shares. You got into it with 1.1 million shares on the 13th, and you 1.4 million shares. So you had a little bit more volume, but I wouldn't say anything in there was a wide price spread and a ton of volume. I would have liked to seen 2 to 3 million. It ends up being kind of an issue much like the porridge. It's too cold It's just right. It's too hot. And to 1.4, probably not enough to break that high with resounding clarity. But certainly what we are seeing today is a move back into the trading zone with heavy volume. I know I had several people ask me about shorting IBB. I said, have at it. It looked to me like a false breakout. I didn't play it. I'm just, maybe I've been burned too many times by biotechs, but I just don't seem to have very good luck with them. We'll look at it a little longer. Wanted to get back into some other things here. Maybe let's take a look. Is that yesterday? It certainly should be. Today is the 21st. Had a lot of stocks. Haven't had a chance to look at them. We'll go through them here fairly quick. I got a couple of minutes left. Cordia Therapeutics, we had some of these biotechs looking rather weak, and ACOR was one of them. Of course, looking like maybe it's coming back in. Had a couple dojis the previous days. March 5th, you had $39.92 with 1 million shares. You came into it on the 19th with half the volume and a doji. Doji yesterday and a little bit more volume than yesterday, and a close below it solidly. But probably going to need a little bit more energy to get a few of these stocks out of the way. Let's see, look a few more of these things that I'm looking at, and see if we find something out here. Air. I wanted to look at that. AIR. This was another one that it kind of popped up on my radar. Not a lot of volume, but we are seeing some of these stocks, just like IBB, that hit highs on marginally higher volume, closed back in the trading range, and in this case, ARR down on heavy volume today. ALSK, Alaska Communications Group, American Superconductor. Let's see, what do we have down here? Buffalo Wild Wings. This one was interesting. I wanted to see whether this thing could hang out. It does look very interesting to me in that the November 22nd high, $152.53, 610,000 shares. Basically tried to get into it with 400,000 shares. January 8th, pulled back in. Had about 3 days with 286,000, 567,000 shares yesterday, and a nice break today with 800,000 shares. So you've got about 30% higher volume, but a little roll off on the top. But a lot of these stocks we want to be watching to see if they do just roll over and pull right back into the trading zone. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. We'll look at CAT when we come back for Jody.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Hecht will be hosting his first paid workshop on TFNN, the Techno-Mental Trading Method, which is taking place Friday, March 28th from noon till 3:30 Eastern Time. Relying on his decades of experience as a professional commodities trader for some of the largest and most well-respected firms in the business, Andy will be teaching for 3 full hours discussing the application of the technomentals he uses when trading commodities, futures, inter and intra-commodity spreads, commodity-related stocks, ETFs and ETNs, and related options, and much more. You'll receive an added bonus of a quick reference guide that Andy has put together for everyone that attends that breaks down the U.S. traded commodity-based ETF and ETN products available to you as a trader. The Techno-Mental Trading Method, Friday, March 28th from noon till 3:30 Eastern Time. This workshop will be archived so that if you can't attend live, you can view it whenever you'd like on demand for 30 days. For all the details and to reserve your spot today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we come back, it's always interesting to see what's going on here at TFNN. I'm trying to check up on a bunch of stuff going on. In the meantime, let's see, do I have?
I got mail!
Oh,
Yay!
I
got mail! Yay!
And that's interesting. I got a question about looking at WPRT, and that's Westport Innovations. This company makes all kinds of stuff for, as they say in their own website, gaseous kinds of stuff. They basically make trucks and all kinds of stuff for use with natural gas and other stuff like that. If I read that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I think that's right. I'll check that again just to make sure. But I guess what they're looking at is this high volume lows and movements out here from March 3rd. This is Thomas from New York. Thanks for telling me where you're from, Thomas. Anyway, $15.22 has not tested that low out there. You certainly want this thing to break the bottom with lighter volume and pull back in above 15.22 to give you a buy signal. But certainly in that candle already today, a little bit too much volume yesterday, probably signaling you have more downside today. But still not a bad looking chart. I would have liked a little less energy yesterday, but if a volume drives up the next few days, maybe you get down to $15 and it pops back up to 15.22. You get a close over 15.22, and the volume remains very light. We got 500,000 shares today, 1.3 million shares yesterday. Good looking setup, at least for a temporary trade. You may get a few more bounces out of here. This thing has been going down forever. So you're probably going to get a nice little automatic rally out of that. and maybe up to 1750 for the first trade, and maybe get a few more bounces until this thing consolidates out at a lower price point. So maybe a quick trade coming up, and then you'd have to watch this thing that it probably gets a month or two, maybe even 3 months out here in this $15 range and consolidates. You may have actually a wonderful trade, but certainly a good catch out here of low volume as we look at some of these higher stocks. Do they have something in the den someone wanted to look at? CAT. We had CAT for, what is it? Yeah, CAT. Of course, Caterpillar's been in, it looks like some kind of distribution mode is the only thing I can tell. I mean, basically, if you look at the chart for the last 15 days or something, either someone's massively buying this thing or massively selling it. And my guess is at the tops, it's normally they are selling this, or there's a massive amount of indecision out here. You would have loved to see some higher volume come in out here today. You certainly have a high volume low at 58.88 with 8 million shares. That low's going to get tested. You really can't trade this stock, I think, without getting that low tested. I would just say probably go somewhere else. Good chance, though, that gets tested, and that's about $15. $14 back down, so maybe a nice trade setup, but boy, I tell you what, hard to pull the trigger today. I would probably say, just like I said in my newsletter today, we've got options rollover on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is probably the day we're going to see a issue for the whole thing. And when someone's Jody in the den is asking about CAT, fundamentally the problem is that they bought, I'm pretty sure they bought Bucyrus, which is that huge coal dragger company. And, of course, the destruction of the coal industry in the United States is one thing, but also it is many other countries are going against it. And Bucyrus actually competes with some China companies, too. So even where they're digging up lots of coal, like in Indonesia, if the Chinese are buying it, they want the Chinese company that makes that giant line crane to dig up all the coal to be in China. And so Caterpillar probably has the work cut out for them to hold this high. But I suspect it may be a lot like the IBB. You just come in one day and the thing finally breaks. Yeah, they bought Bucyrus at the top, and it just doesn't... I thought it was kind of stupid at the time. I understood why they wanted to buy them. I didn't agree with the timing. But we'll be back in just a minute.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back from break, checking out, got to check out my email, see if there's anybody else sending me any email. I got a question from somebody, Trung, about where do I see nat gas going to, and can I get an opinion on Vernext, VHC. So we looked at this. Vernext Holding, this is one ugly chart. Nice spike, instantly blows back up, blow off top. Let's take a look at this thing longer term. Looks like it's headed back down to $11.01. Although it's probably going to have a little bit of workout here, but I think this thing drifts lower to about $11. Vernex X Holdings might get a little bounce out of here, but probably the long-term buy on this thing is going to be $11. Not too far off into the future. So thanks for those emails. I just don't want to get into the whole thing, but my guess is that those charts only include stocks that had earnings and not all the ones that don't. So it's probably not a valid comparison. I'd want to go through all the stuff. So it's... Unfortunately, you have to dig so deep in those kind of things to find out whether the relationships are valid or not. Someone sent me a link to a website that had an article, And the data may or may not be significant, but unfortunately it's going to take me 2 hours to find out whether I can believe the data or not. So probably somewhat problematic at the moment to do it live on the air. But we'll look at a few other stocks out here that are moving. Been waiting for stocks to test some of these highs on light volume. Got it today in Cabela's CAB. Came up and tested the May 17th high of last year, $72.54, 1.2 million shares, 800,000 shares so far today. Is that right? No, 500,000 shares today, 800,000 shares yesterday. So we're going to get in here probably with a test of this top within a penny with half the volume today. So even if we use the higher volume from yesterday, 800,000 shares, going to be 35% light on volume on Cabela's. So let's look at other ones. Commerce Bank shares. This thing's tested this gap area a couple of times. Did it again today. CBSH is the symbol on this one. Another day, another lighter volume test of this gap area. Not a reversal signal yet, but certainly this thing looks like it's weak. But the second test, and of course, this thing gapped down on, when was that? The 26th of November on not huge volume, 277,000 shares, if that's right. Got back into it on January 22nd with 460,000 shares, testing it with 300,000 today, yeah. So still got some time, but looks like some of these things are getting back into these gap areas and problematic. Some of these things look more like heartbeats than anything else. But this one has been hitting my radar. CareFusion CFN. This thing got back up into its previous high of January 30th that had 3.1 million shares. And into that candle, didn't get enough of it. But certainly, 20 cents light on the high on March 7th with 1.2 million shares. This thing's continuing to move down, probably headed to $37.87 checkpoint. Another one we've been watching in the newsletter and put in, I think talked about it at the on the webinar with Tom O'Brien. This one was light January 30th. Had $68.89, 1.9 million shares, and 1.4 million shares. Guaranteed the nightly news when they get to Wall Street, the line crashed out. It could be. Yeah, we're off, 5 points on the S&P cash, but the day isn't over yet. This market has got more twists than a Arizona Sidewinder. Anyway, looking at this, volume did not pick up so far today, and actually the last 3 days. Little lighter volume out there, so we might even get one more pop in some of these stocks. Clorox, always interesting to watch what Clorox is doing. This thing came down fairly heavily all the way from December 9th all the way down to January 5th. It's just been going sideways for a long time. Still no volume out of this thing. I've been kind of waiting for that thing to either head up or head down. Let's see what else we have out here. Yeah, I don't see any emails. Don't say any of that. I don't see anybody asking about anything. Of course, you can call me at 877-927-6648. HCBK, Hudson Bank Corp. A lot of these banks out here, just no volume tests at the top. HCBK, the July 19th high, $9.79, 10 million shares, getting into it with 3.5 million shares today. Energy on this last leg up, off about 15% from the move up. Probably not anything you can short, but just continue to seeing that whole sector out there having some issues. Joy Global, of course, one of the bigger movers out here today, but this thing is just not out of any. In fact, this chart probably looks just a little wider price range version of Caterpillar. Of course, I think they're in the same business also. And it is, what do we have out here? You got 1.4 or 1.6 million shares. But one of the stocks that really were people were talking about earlier today. But just like a lot of these things, you know, you got a high volume high out here, probably going to get tested, which is the March 6th high at $58.80. KNDI, Candy Technology. This is the Chinese electric and pneumatic car company. We talked about this the other day. Looking a little bit sick. Had a high volume move to the top and pulled right back and filled it. So not doing too bad today, actually. Live, boy, this thing that it showed up on my scan here is, well, I guess you can say it is close to being back at the support level. So if we get a wild market next week, you might want to keep an eye on this one. If you could get back down to the $6 level where this thing took off a few weeks ago, you did get back into it with lighter volume. I'm not much on the stock, but certainly this thing has been a rocket and probably done, but certainly maybe needs some consolidation. But boy, this thing does have volume on the upside. Maybe a good day trader out there might put an alarm on that for $6 and see how it does when it comes back in. And see what else we have out here. MDC. A lot of false positives these days, and a lot of these stocks moving around. Response system. Marketo. And this is kind of interesting. I don't know much about the stock NMK, but this thing had a big run from January 27th up to February 20th. Had a nice pullback, came back into the gap with light volume, moved back up to the top, but just not, you know, you had basically, you wanted to get 2.6 million shares pretty much out of this last move back up here. You got, 1.7 million shares, 900,000, 600,000. The thing is pulled back down. Probably going to bounce again at the $62 level, so you might want to take a look at that one if you haven't been watching it. See what else we have. MSCI, a little higher volume there. March middle. Let's see. Star. So many of these things are just trapped in these very tight trading ranges. NCR, NDS, Noodles, New Gold, and Nakamura. And oversize. We'll find a stock here in just a second. NRG Energy. NRG. This is one. I think we were looking at this yesterday in the newsletter. Maybe I put it in, maybe I didn't. October 28th high, $30.28, 9.8 million shares. We've got 1.4 million shares today as it breaks those highs. So not the, got decent energy. Let's look a little bit more at it like this. Big W formation. Energy about the same going up to the leg, but certainly a lot of these things look like they are in a big trading range, and this one would take you from $30 down to $36.50. Nuon. Don't see any emails here. Don't see anything else. So we'll continue on in kind of almost a lightning round. Nuance Communications, of course. This is another one of these companies that Carl Icahn has been pumping. This is another one that is going above its previous level. It's come back and filled its gap. This gap came down on 64 million shares. First attempt to come back up and fill that gap was January 22nd with 21 million shares. You've had probably the last 4 or 5 days, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, getting awful rich back up here and here. The question is whether or not Carl Icahn engineered this pop down. In the olden days for stock manipulators, that's exactly what you do, is blow this thing out to the bottom and start buying shares. I don't know if he'd get involved for $3 on a $13 stock, but he'd been pumping this one for a while. Let's see. OMX. Odyssey Marine, nothing in that. PayX. We got Sam from San Jose, California. He wants to talk about X. How you doing today, Sam?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'd be better if I didn't press Z instead of X, but we'll figure it out here. United States Steel Company. What are you thinking about doing with this?
It has been forming a base, so I was thinking about buying it,
I did not notice a news release that said that that they were raising the price like $10 or $20 per ton of steel. I think it was from like $660 to $680 or something. So apparently they think, one, they either have to raise the prices, or two, it can support higher prices. What I don't like out here is, of course, it testing this previous high that we had from February 18th. It had 7 million shares, and maybe it gets 7 million today, but at best it's going to tie probably. At worst, it broke the previous high and closed below it. I don't like the energy on the way back up and from this big move down, and it never got the kind of volume to match the 19th of February. So what are you thinking on this?
I was thinking to maybe buy some,
Did you have an idea?
Yeah.
Where?
Somewhere around at this level,
Now, I'd say probably your buy would be at 23.32. I think this is in a bigger trading range, and if you could get back into the 23s, volume was about 5 million shares. I think maybe you could buy it. But I tell you what, right now there's so much dumping of copper and steel from the Chinese, with all those companies going bankrupt over there. Very hard to figure out exactly what the price is going to be from day to day. I do like the little encouragement I heard about the higher steel prices yesterday, but I didn't dig into the news. But this thing, I'd say the biggest problem is it came back up. Energy never really came into it from that huge gap down, and you filled that gap now. But you had 17 million shares, and as you got back into that gap, you got 7 million, 5 million, 6 million, maybe 6.5 million today. So there's just not a lot there. So okay. I would say that the only safe play to buy this would be back down into that candle of February 25th. And if this market rolls, probably got to get a good chance to do it. But I'm not going to be very confident about buying anything and going long probably for a while. But right. There's a few stocks that actually have tested their lows on incredibly lighter volume. But even those probably need a little bit more of a pullback before, even if the market went higher, before I would buy them. So not a lot out there. But
I was also looking at Alpha Natural Resources, A&R, the coal stock. There was a huge sell-off, so I just thought.
You want to hang on through the break?
Sure.
Okay. We'll be back.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
We're going to finish up with Sam and then go to Don in Phoenix in a minute. Anyway, are you still there, Sam?
Yes.
Okay. Alpha Natural Resources. This broke through the previous high volume lows of August 5th of last year. They had 24 million shares on the 7th of March, and it did it with significantly higher volume. 24 million shares got broke by 34 million shares. This thing's been trending down. Energy increased on the last leg down. And are you familiar with what the president said about coal companies?
Yes, a little bit.
That he's going to put every one of them out of business? That he's going to bankrupt them all?
Is it?
Yeah. And that's why you can look at all those coal. I wouldn't be in any coal company. This one does a little bit more of coal for putting in steel. But I don't see any. I think the EPA regulations that are destined to kill coal for electricity probably going to hit a lot of these coal for steel companies too. And I see nothing in this thing but bankruptcy. Maybe you get something out here lower, but I have a feeling that he said he was going to bankrupt the coal companies, and it looks like he's going to do it. So I'm going to move on from then. Thanks for the call. We're going to go right next to Don. How you doing today, Don?
Hey, great, Dave. I appreciate your help.
Okay, and we're looking at Burger Queen, or actually Burger King. You can have it your way. if you don't mind them spitting on your food. Anyway, what do you want to do with this thing?
Well, I've already done something. Now I got to see if I messed up again.
What'd you do?
What do you think the chances? I shorted it.
You have an option on it?
Strike.
You have an option on it? I love it. I love the trade. I love the trade. I already talked to who about this trade. So
yes, sir.
We agreed on it when it started. So I like the trade unless you bought too near. What month did you get? Well,
I had to buy April. I didn't because the next one was clear way the hell out. So
yeah, I think that's the one you were supposed to buy.
Yeah, I followed his directions on it. You still like the market was even had good days. It's been coming down. It looks like with a little more volume.
This thing's it's a horrible company that's going to have problems with all kinds of commodity prices going higher, and it's kind of been fattened up here, I think, with the market, just because everybody's been short and they've just slowly turned the heat up on this thing. But I think it's already broken.
A little worried about the time.
Yeah, I just think that you need to go out to the middle of the summer, right? Is what he was talking.
Well, he said to do the April 19th.
Okay, well, I think it's a good trade. I think
report the 20. They report the 22nd, I think, after it expires the 21st. So
yeah, I would go out farther, but that's my personal opinion. I like the trade, though. I think especially with the wheat and meat prices, plus them being just a horrible company where people that can't get hired at McDonald's go to work. I wish that I like their burgers. I wish I didn't have to see any of the employees when I go there. So
great. Hey, the other one, I've got a short fuse on this one, too. I bought an April put on Expedia.
Yep.
Don't have a lot of time on that one.
We don't have a lot of time left in the show either. We'll do a quick one on this one. This market could do it. Just know that maybe you're going to have to saddle up. I would probably go a little longer time frame, but I think that's it. I probably did the same mistake as you, bought a little closer on some of my puts than I should have. Anyway, we'll see you Monday, same bat channel, same bat time. Remember to sell when you can, not when you have to.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.